Hello and welcome to the channel. This is the leftover skeleton of an Emanuris. Gave a fantastic display this year. Of course it'll be back in 2 years time. All the while the Kohlrabias are absolutely out in full bloom. This variety is Lucifer, and of course if you get the wild variety in your garden, you'll have a hard time trying to get it out. Even the cultivared Kohlrabias, certainly if they're in ideal conditions where it's certainly sheltered and they get a good baking of sun, will spread prolifically. The best way that I find to tin out the Kohlrabias is to zigzag through a plant this way, zigzag through a plant that way. You're loosening up the soil and you're getting a little bit of air back in, whereas if you tin out from around, the center is still almost heavily clumped. The flowers from the hostas as well are looking well. So this video I want to run down and show you another few flowers that I have below, run up to the vegetable garden and give you a look at, do some harvesting, and then I just completed a patio and garden wall, and I can show you that as well. This little flower is a poppy and it's called Pink Fizz, and it has absolutely flowered its socks off all summer. And again the Kohlrabias after popping up again, but look, we're focusing on this, more blooms. It's definitely a cultivar that you should definitely introduce into your garden because it has this wonderful little flower, and this is a lovely little poppy. It's a little beauty, rose Campion, with its silver foliage and its wonderful pink little petally discs on the top of each stem, prolifically, flowers prolifically, and back every year for another display. And of course the right job for the lupins is to chop them back. I haven't been down here in a while, so busy, but you can probably see the tips of the liatris as well. Chop them back and allow them to rejuvenate for next year. Variety is Nero, and when you're harvesting just catch your stem and push down. The kale is full of vitamins, can be juiced. It's obviously one of the brassicas. It likes fertile soil, 6.5 to 7 pH, and it's one of the most forgiving. It's hardy. It's July now, but you can still set your seeds and you'll get kale. There's no sweat there, that'll grow. These ones were all planted in off little modules. I find the success rate is better. So yeah, kale, absolutely brilliant. The old Irish, 200 years ago, the stem, not this particular variety, but the other varieties, the old variety, the stem would be so woody they'd use it as firewood. So kale are just full of so much uses, just pretty, tasting good. They have so many attributes to them. There's Kohlrabi. Of course it's a brassica, so it's related to the cabbage, the Brussels sprouts, the kale, cauliflower, radish, turnips, and of course swede. But the thing about the Kohlrabi is it doesn't really store well, so it should be harvested as required, harvested as you're going to mulch into them. Here's a right whopper. Now when they get too big they tend to get a bit woody, but for me I can only eat so much. I will still eat that, don't you worry, that won't go to waste. Yeah, there's a whole bed in there. I don't know if you can see them or not, but get those big leaves out of the way. There's Kohlrabis in there, so if there's anyone listening to this video that lives near me, let me know and I'll give you plenty of Kohlrabi and kale. For the last bit I have a lovely little slither of a stone to fit in. So we'll mark off the back of the wall. I just want to show you the drains for the water, especially when there's a wall built around patio. There's a sneaky drain in there, and I used that particular stone knowing that it was almost lofty. It was raised from the slab so that this water can fly in there. And of course then you have your standard. So these are the channels that I dug. So I dug those channels, and I'll just dig one quick soak away here, and I'll just fill it with stone, and basically all channels will soak away into that soak pit then. The whole project, from putting in the stone, whacking it down, levelling it out, putting down the slabs, building a wall, putting stone on it, capping it, the whole exercise took 2 weeks, and that was a few hours here and a few hours there.